Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Danders, the hardest working man in comics.
Brian Seymour, king of Comic Town here in Columbus, Ohio.
That's right, best believe it. And if you're brand new to Black, White, and Red All Over, let me tell you what this is. This is the best comic book interview review series on the entire interweb, and we don't spoil anything. We are non-spoiler, so we make sure that you go read books as we suggest them, because that's the best way to do this. Obviously, if you're new here, click like right now. Trust me, you're going to like this, because we got some good stuff for you. That's how it is. Okay, so let's jaw just a little before we jump into this. I've seen the Batman. You have not seen the Batman?
I have not. Not because I don't want to.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I just haven't had the time. Like, I want to. I really do.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're king. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. But for those people that have been watching, you were missing facial hair. And I'm not going to, like, dude, it was so luxurious.
Yeah.
And so when I came in today and I was like, oh. Rise hair's gone. What?
It was doing two things. First,
it
was impeding my social agenda at home. And second,
I understand that. God, I understand that. Man, okay.
When your facial hair is so unkempt and gnarly that it begins getting into your chipotle.
Oh, it's got to go.
It had
to go.
But it's still in the house. So
wait, hold on. See, now every time we have like a regular conversation, you just turn left. You always turn left.
It's one of the things I like to do is I like plant traps for my family. So somewhere in the house, there's a Tupperware bowl with my beard just waiting.
It's coming to get you, Barbara. Yeah. Like, that's okay.
Which also means I can sell it. So it's like still there. So if you want a Ryan beard kit, I got you.
We'll talk after this, because this non-touching. I'm upset. You got to change that. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Okay, so we've got some good books that you guys should read. Some good reads that you should read that we're going to talk about. Only one of them is the same because of my failure. You
didn't know.
I didn't.
A lot of people don't know, and that we will get that rectified.
Okay.
But I think a lot of people are going to miss out at first,
which is why our show is so important. Okay, we're going to hip you to this right away. Do you want to start off with that one, or do you want to build up to that?
Oh, let's build up to that.
Okay,
because there's the return of a series that I absolutely adored its first time out.
Yes, when I saw it, I had to grab it. Okay, the Kill Lock, the Artisan Wraith, number one is back. IDW, Livio Romandelli is back, and okay, the Kill Lock. What it is a punishment measure.
Yes.
Say you are a animatronic, robotic, sentient being, and you've committed a crime. Obviously, you don't follow the 3 laws.
Yeah.
They don't apply to you like that. As punishment, they don't just destroy you, because they kind of want it to be a lesson.
Because you could still be useful in a way.
Right. So what they do is they tie you to 3 other beings, other robotic beings, and if any one of you die, all of you die. So now you have to create this sense of community. I mean, you talk about rehabilitation.
Yeah.
Some of these people, like, you could care less about, and now you rely on them.
You have to.
For your literal survival.
Yeah.
We were introduced in the initial series to 4 such candidates, and 2 of which have survived by combining and forming like Voltron. And clearly, that was not the intended plan.
No.
And so...
It was so clever.
It's so genius.
Evil.
So genius.
Oh.
Especially when one of them is like this battle bot that everyone knows is guilty of war crimes.
Yes.
And hard to kill. We'll say that. Like, nigh unstoppable. They're lucky they arrested it. The fallout of that merging.
Yeah.
And the world that has been created since, that is the backdrop. And we are following 2 characters that seemingly are on the hunt for this now merged individual, because they are sent by the foragers to 86 this, because that can't be.
That wasn't the way it was supposed to be.
Not supposed to be that. And these 2 guys, while good,
yes,
they seem to have personalities that somewhat conflict, and this is going to be the fruit of our drama.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, it's amazing. The story is great. The characterization is fantastic. And again, if you slept on the Kill Lock, this is your chance to jump back into it. They catch you up quite nicely. It's a good series.
Yeah, it's one of the best books nobody heard of.
Yep, without question.
All right. Whereas everybody, based on their watching of the Disney Plus What If series, knows about the character Captain Carter. This is actually her first comic.
How, people? How?
Yes. So this is your chance. If you're like, oh, I need more Captain Carter. Because her character was so badass on the show.
Sure was.
And just Peggy Carter in general is awesome. This is her picking up in the present time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she goes through a very similar fate of 616 Steve Rogers, and she gets frozen and is now brought back out in London now. Hydra is still around, and they are not happy about it.
Aww.
That is all you will get, but it totally has the tone, the vibe of the MCU's Peggy Carter.
Okay.
Is 100% there. There's the torture of, like, everybody you know and knew is gone. This is a completely different world you're living in. Getting used to that.
Right.
And she still has that same heart, that same personality, that same, like, just, I'm not going to take...
I love it.
Yeah, it's good.
No, that might be too spoilery. I wanted to ask, is this her Winter Soldier-esque story? But then don't tell me. I'll read it. I'll find out. I'll find out myself. But imagine,
right?
Who would be her? Like, could it? No, they wouldn't do that. That would be rude. That would be. But oh God. Okay. Gotta read that. Okay. So I decided to go with Justice League versus the Legion of Superheroes 2 of 6. Bendis, Godlewski, Cody. We raved about the first issue. Very well written. Big love to the letterer, because obviously Bendis, he types, and he types a lot. You got to manage that, and it's fantastic. This I expect to be a big ticket piece, because we're getting the first appearance, like breakdown, origin story, if you will, of the Golden Lantern, and that
should be something.
It's definitely going to be. It's something where, as a long-time, fan of the Legion and understanding what its place is, knowing that they didn't have the Green Lantern Corps active, so to speak. I mean, there's stories where, Sodom Yacht pops up. Yeah. But, like, overall, they're not really active. And you're like, well, why is that?
Yeah.
This kind of sets a stage. And you're like, this is cool. Huh. Like, I really dig this. The framework of this, I'm still not sure. I think there's, like, a threat that we get established, but the scale of it is not quite there yet. So maybe I'm speaking from a 21st century and you got to be in the 33rd to really understand what's going on. That's cool. That's my fault. You know what I'm saying? I'll figure it out with it. It looks good, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks good. Yeah. Godlewski is killing it. Super dope.
All right. From AWA Upshot, hit me number 1. All right. So, Krista Faust, she's written other stuff that is, like, very dark, very gritty, very modern noir. Continues with this. So the creative team, we got Krista Faust writing, Priscilla Petredes, and Marco Lesko. Art, incredible. It's got like a Bengal-esque sort of vibe to it.
Super clean.
The young woman who is the protagonist in this story, she is an entrepreneur.
Okay. She's
a business-owning self-starter who specializes in Aardvarkus and Flagrante-esque activities. Not quite.
Aardvarkus. It's painting a picture.
If you're a sadist, and you're looking for a partner,
right?
Her services are there.
Okay.
And so you've got this, like, really kind of dark fringe kind of society thing going on.
Yeah, because I was going to say, you said sadist, not masochist.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's... All right.
But gotcha. Then things get crazy because it goes full noir.
Ooh.
There is a crime that occurs, and she's stuck in the middle of it. And, it just blows up. So it's got that first thing that people might be like, I don't know. Read it. Because if you want that Brubaker Phillips kind of crime thing, this is it. It just wears latex.
I love it. And that cover is so very Steranko.
It really is.
I like it.
Yeah, there's everything about this book is cool.
Who did that cover? Is that a?
Oh, that's
is that Mike
question.
Diodato?
That's a good question.
It looks Diodato-esque.
Let's see.
Yep, I see it. Very cover. Okay. See, I be knowing. I be seeing it. I be reading it.
Yeah,
so good.
So good. Just I really, really enjoyed it.
I love this. Okay. Oh, Mistakes were made. I didn't know.
You didn't know.
I didn't know. How did I not know? But I didn't know. I read it wrong. I misunderstood. Okay.
Yeah, because shops have to figure out a way to educate people on this.
Yes.
Because this is truly denotative. There's going to be ignorance about this.
Yes. Because clearly, this guy. Talk about series that we couldn't wait to come back.
Mm-hmm.
We Live is back. Age of the Palladions. The Miranda brothers. Okay, so this is Black #1. That's not the only #1 of this series.
Pick based on which cover is cooler.
Yeah. They're two different books.
And we'll get to that.
Yeah. Okay, so We Live is low-key the sleeper hit of the last, 2 years. Where phenomenal, on fire. It was a great, grounded story, post-apocalyptic. Monsters, mutated beings hunting the last remnants of Earth. With their, weird sort of lottery.
Yeah.
If they got this alien tech on their hands, they get to go to the next level.
Yeah. Aliens will save you.
Yeah.
Which sounds cool and also
sucktastic. We knew We Live was going to be something special when we literally had an issue end where they were slaughtering kids.
Yeah.
You just don't do that.
Yeah.
Right? So when that happens, you're like, oh, this book is something. Yeah. And it ends with a very Power Ranger-esque superhero reveal that this whole story narrative was building up to. And you're like, that made it even cooler.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see that coming.
So this is the time before the apocalypse.
Yes.
Power Rangers versus Kaiju.
Yes. Amazing. Literally amazing.
Yeah. In Black, it's a story that's told from the perspective of your rank and file people, the government as they're trying to decide how they're going to handle things right before the full-on collapse of their society.
Right.
And you get to see the stakes of everything. You get a brief glimpse at the
team structures that are built behind these heroes. This alone, I immediately was like, I need to see this in some moving form of media. I don't care if it's animated, motion comic, live action. I need to see this.
This fight.
Amazing.
This whole fight thing.
Amazing. For real. This is one of those things where okay, people are saying that the American comic industry is failing to manga. This is the answer.
Yeah.
It's taking some of the best things of that genre media and applying it to the best things of our genre media, and there you go.
Yeah, the Miranda brothers, they're doing it. It's that perfect synthesis of the two ways of making a comic.
Yep.
This
is cool.
It's really cool, and it is two different books.
Yes,
it isn't one
literally
book.
Two different books.
It is. Now let's just cut right into. These are the should reads. So this is We Live #1, Age of the Palladions, White. It is a totally different book than this.
Not just a variant cover, as I assumed as it was. So please don't make that mistake. Make sure you grab both of those.
Yeah, budget to grab both.
Yeah.
And it is just so cool because you get more of the... They had action figures for the Palladions.
That's awesome.
There's trading cards. We have our trading cards. We got them today. Yeah, so there's trading cards for them. So be nice with your shop.
Yeah.
Get to know your owner of that LCS, and they might be able to hook you up.
You're so handsome even without a beard.
Just lies. So, and it gets even further into the world of the Palladions.
That's awesome.
In this right before everything collapsed, you get to see a little bit more how these monsters kind of function, how they hunt, how they view the world. The use of there's the trading cards.
That's crazy.
The use of cenotes and how these monsters came to be.
Yeah.
And the origin of how they are. Just it really.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So
which of these suits is your favorite?
That's a toughie. Because they all were really, really cool. Where's that? That one for me.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Okay, that's fair. I feel like your attention is drawn here.
Yeah.
But Zodiac.
You forget about him.
Yeah. I feel like that's... Yep.
So, yeah. Yeah, budget for both because they're two different books and you'll want them both.
Yeah, you will. Gosh, I still feel foolish.
Well, that's one that even retailers had trouble understanding. Looking at the final order cutoff, and we're like, we live.
Why are they two different? Because they're two different books.
Two different books.
So again, going into must reads, Trial of the Amazons #1. Okay, so there were a couple of stories that have popped up from DC Comics that I was like, I have to read this. Mm-hmm. War for Earth 3 was definitely one of them, and then this one, which is being dubbed as the first major crossover event of Wonder Woman's history. And I'm like, disrespect, how is that possible? It is because it's true.
I can't think of it.
There's not. There's literally not one, which is crazy. There have been amazing self-contained stories, but not ones that overarching have touches on the whole that is the DC universe. So creative team is a plethora. Okay, we've got Williams, Ayala, Jones, Clunan, Conrad, Braga, Patridge, Casagrande, Fajardo Jr., and Belleri. So everybody's worked on this. Okay, here's the thing that you need to understand though: it is a cohesive story. The vibe, the tone. The only way that I can imagine this happen is if each writer was given a certain group of characters, and every time they say something, that's your job. You say this, you speak for them. And so I'm going to have this thing happen. How would they respond? And you go, da-da-da-da-da-da. And you're like, God, they're terrible. And you're like, that's how they respond. And you're like, it's fair. It works. Here's the setup. This is the part that gets me. Okay, so this is my crash course on Amazonian culture now. Mm-hmm. We all know Diana, Princess of the Themysciran Amazons. That's one tribe. There are 3 in total.
Really?
3. Obviously, with Yara Flores, we got introduced to the Amazons of the Amazon type place. There's another tribe that apparently Nubia was connected to. And wait, I want to make sure I say their name correctly. The Banamaidal.
Okay.
And they are, without question, you read it and you get a very clear, distinct Wakandan Dora Milaje vibe.
Yeah.
Without question. Here's the setup. So you got the Themyscirans, right? They are the known Amazons, period. Yeah. You've got the Maidals, and they have been dismissed and overlooked as Amazons. There was something that was supposed to happen to include them, and it never did. So they kind of have a grudge.
Yeah.
Then you have Yara's crew, which, wait, I'm going to mess this one up because it has a very particular sound to it. Esquisita. I think it's Esquisita. I think that's how you say it. That was a lost tribe. They were out in the wild and they literally got lost and grew up in the Amazon area, by the Amazonian River and all that stuff. They just never connected with the other groups. They didn't know about them. So each side now is being tasked with performing the Wonder Woman ritual of contest to see who is going to be Wonder Woman, who might get to be queen of all the Amazons, and who is going to be the chosen person to guard their door of doom into Tartarus.
Huh.
Yeah. So what was normally just this thing for the sisters on the island, they are now incorporating the other 2 tribes.
Because they were supposed to all along.
Because they were all supposed to be a part of it. So you've got different political ideas from each one. You've got characters that are standing out where you're like, oh, you a baddie. You just take none from nobody and you don't even care. And it's beautiful. And then the worst thing possible could happen. A crime. A crime occurs. And it is now going to be, in the midst of all this indecision and trial by combat, they have to figure out who did this thing that is potentially the worst thing that could happen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's...
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I love all parts of this. This is a book that I will take home to my daughters, both of them, one being 4 years old, one being 12, and just go, this is possible for you. Pick a Amazon that you link onto and be that Amazon all the time. I don't even care. Yes, I'm going to hate it. I'm going to tell you to stop. Be that though, because these are powerful figures. The idea that this is dropping International Women's Day, beautiful.
Smart.
Beautiful. What a story. And the best part about it is I'm sure as the this is set up. They're not calling the Justice League. They're not here for that. They're going to handle this.
It's their stuff.
And it's going to have repercussions. It's going to be amazing. So, yes, I love it. I love it a lot.
That's last.
Okay.
I
agree. Next up, we have Thor 23, Donny Cates, Nick Klein, Matt Wilson. You guys just smashed this story out. Like, I feel like this whole arc has happened in like 3 days. Like, I don't know how you guys have told so much comic story in so quick a fashion.
Because it's a lot. Like,
it's a whole ton.
We have a complete reimagining of something that had always been this simple, like it's a magic hammer.
Yeah.
But it's so much more.
Oh, no, it is so much more than that. As pseudo, and this is kind of a weird thing, Donny Cates is a very interesting writer, particularly in the way that he is attempting writing style choices. We literally get a combination of epilogue and then the conclusion.
Yeah.
Which is not normal, right? Like, you normally get such, thoughtful, slow moments at the end of everything, and you kind of take it in. You go, oh, this is what that actually meant, and this is beautiful. This literally starts with like an epilogue-ish tone, and so that when you get to the end, what?
Yeah. Because coming out of the events from the previous issue,
yes,
I had no idea how that was going to function. And now we've got this, and it's Thor using his brain.
Yes.
I mean, he still has a ton of power that he uses,
yes,
but the way he thinks about it and attacks a problem that had no other obvious solution.
And that's the part that makes it so crazy. It's the only solution.
Yeah.
It's the only solution that he could have done that makes any difference. I don't even want to say sense. Makes any difference.
Yeah.
Because anything else that he would have done would have failed.
Mm-hmm.
This one thing is absolutely the wisest thing possible, which speaks to so much of King Thor and not the big dumb brute that he normally is.
Yeah. Yeah, this is an evolved character.
Very much so. Like, even from the first issues of this series, evolved character.
Yeah. I'm terrified of the power level. Because I feel like that's more powerful.
I low-key do too, and that's weird, right? Like, it's supposed to be absent of all these things that we know and love about Mjolnir, but now, what it has...
Yeah.
It's got your mom, okay? I'm sorry, I had to spoil it. It's got your mom in it, and what are you going to do about that? What? Nothing. Because she said.
Yeah. No, it's so beautiful.
Especially
the
if
art
it
is so good.
Oh god, the art is amazing. If it retains the ability to communicate with him,
that's when it's
going to be like, that's not even fair.
Yeah.
Just wait till y'all read it. You'll love it. You'll love it.
And we know the previous couple issues were like first appearances, keys, minor keys, impossible to get. Don't worry about it. Get the trade when it comes out.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
And enjoy that, because this is one of those status quo changers that can I say that this won't be prevalent in some future movie?
That's what I was thinking.
It's immediately what I was thinking. So
I was like, oh.
That's probably gonna show face sometime real soon. So can you imagine that? That might be why that came out so fast, because they actually had to work on it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would be... I'm here for it.
When was Thor supposed to come out? In May?
I think.
Because everything got pushed, right? So Doctor Strange was supposed to come out this month.
Mm-hmm.
Thor was supposed to come out in May.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder.
I'll bet that...
That'd be...
Okay.
Is everything okay at home?
Yeah, I need to make sure you're okay. Okay? Like, Mark. I'm dead serious. Like, I'm reading this and I'm enjoying it. And then it hits a level of seriousness. Like, and I really had to go like, I mean, is he okay? Like, I haven't heard, but is he?
Yeah,
is he okay? Because if this is at all a warning, I'm gonna need you to let us know, like, for real, right now.
You can DM us. Just slide in our DMs with info.
Let us know that you are okay. Okay, so here's the thing. King of Spies has been this roller coaster, run amok spy piece.
Yes.
It's been over the top and amazing in typical Mark Millar fashion, where you're just like, this is so much fun. And yes, there's context and all kinds of things hidden in there, but it's just fun.
Yeah.
This issue
is something different.
Way different.
I want to know, because the other issues Mateo got, there was like a lot of big action, explosions, fight scenes, all the stuff that you would expect from like a big over the top spy. This one, like, it does have its action,
sure,
but when you get to the back half, where all the real action happens,
and this is a bigger issue,
than
your typical,
and it's also a different kind of action.
Yes.
When he got to, especially that segment, that sequence, what was he thinking? What was Mateo thinking when trying to render that? Because it's
that he had to pull from a family member aging, right? Like, because there's a bit there where it got real, man. Like, I shared this with Adri, like, just showed it to her and without any context to the rest of the series, and she was like, yo, really? And I was like, this is not what the rest of the series is like. And she's like, oh, okay, because she's like, this was really like personal. And I was like, it was. Like, I was reading it and I was like, this is when Kevin Smith had his heart attack and he came back to do Jay and Silent Bob reboot. There's something about that movie that when you watch it, you know it's the work of a guy who almost died.
Yeah.
Like, you know that. And you can kind of feel it throughout the whole thing where this is him trying to reconnect with anybody, everybody, good, bad, it doesn't matter, you know, where they stood before this. Clean slate for everybody right now. And that's the feeling of this.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the part that really kind of hurt me was it's been the setup this whole time.
Yeah.
But somehow the way that you told this ending, it became way more personal and way more real to the point where I'm literally asking you, this isn't you, right?
Because
like
the final boss in this battle, I didn't even think.
I didn't either. I did not either.
Yeah. If you have not been reading, you have not been watching. King of Spies is the story of a James Bond. Well, just for easy elevator pitch. He is advanced in age. He is coming down with a terminal disease. He knows he's not going to live. And he has this realization that all the weight of all the crazy, you can't even say borderline evil, but like legitimately evil stuff that he's done.
Yeah.
He's got to make it right.
He's got to make it right. He's got to undo a lot. Atone. He's got to atone.
Yeah. And it's not just, as we find it, it's not just at like a societal level, like, okay, yeah, I taught these guys how to torture people or whatever. Which is important stuff. There is I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it and dance around it. There is another more personal level of atonement that he has to do.
Yes.
And like he realizes he's a part of the system and part of
it's all part of it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And like
because the difference is, okay, what normally would happen, and this is why I'm a Mark Millar devotee, because there's a sense of this is what normally happens and this is what Mark is going to do. The theme that normally happens is redemption, right? This guy goes through this whole thing and the whole idea is to redeem himself, his name, his conscience, whatever, and that's just what it is. Yeah. That is not the vibe here. It is literally atonement. Someone has to pay for what has happened.
Yeah, because where I was like,
did not see that coming.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, how's he going to go? Okay, that's a way. That's a way out. That's a way out. That's a way out. Like, again, like just so many. This one messed me up. I'm not gonna lie, because I was fully expecting traditional, super fun, over the top.
Yeah.
And
a lot of times I want a sequel.
Yeah.
I don't. With this one, I don't. And that sounds bad.
Nope.
But
no, I get it.
Can't.
I get it.
It's so this is the one and done movie.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Like, because what it says something. Like, it's one of those things where I've read books that have tried to say something, and then I've read books that actually say something.
Yeah.
And this one, it says something because it's far from what you thought it was going to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, across the board.
Yeah.
This.
Right?
I almost shed a tear.
Because he realizes.
He knows. He absolutely knows. How crazy is that?
Yeah. It's dagnabbit. It's just
It was good.
Really, really good.
It's good. This whole sequence, if somebody doesn't win an award for this, I'm burning down institutions myself.
Because that shows two very...
When she was like, I don't look the same, and I was like, oh. And then how caring she was and
yeah, like there was, and there shouldn't have been, but there was.
She had every reason to hate him.
Yeah.
Like pure disdain. The only thing I got from you was not even a t-shirt.
I'm surprised he woke up.
Like, maybe that's a testament to what he could do all those years ago. But I'm just saying. Wow. Okay? Wow. It was a romantic book for something. Like, and I guess that's the thing. It was romantic in a way that is so unromantic.
Yeah. Because you got, like, the revenge story.
Yeah.
And yet it's this oddly... transcendentalist sort of.
Yes, yes. There's no other way. Again, when people are like, "Yo, why do you like him so much? He just blows stuff up." You're wrong. Like, you're absolutely wrong. If you're
stuff gets blown up,
yes, stuff does blow up really well. But when you really look behind the story and you see it, like Old Man Logan, Superman Red Son, Civil War. Like, all these different stories, they have big, bombastic things. But then there's these little things throughout the whole thing where you just go, I mean, that could have been me.
Yeah.
Like, I get that.
Yeah.
Dang.
That letter. The letter. And as you start to peel back the words, because the words are harsh, but as you peel back the meaning of it and the feeling of it,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was a phenomenal read. Definitely pick that one up. You owe it to yourself to read that whole series. Mark Miller, man, like he just be doing it. He's like an evil genius behind his little chair, and he's like, he's stroking a cat somewhere. Like, I got them to feel things. Like, I know he is.
It's somehow like a Scottish cat.
Yes,
that like special breed that only exists in like the catacombs of Edinburgh.
But you have to be like a certain like elevation, or else it dies.
Yeah,
like that's what it is. It's amazing. Lots of good reads this week. There's a lot of books this week in general. So there is something for you at your local comic shop. All you got to do is walk in and look around. And if you're too afraid to do that, ask somebody at the counter for some help, because they're here to do just that.
Yeah, and they were you at one point.
Exactly.
To be honest. So just let them know, like, I'm looking for a book. I'm looking to start reading comics. My favorite movie, my favorite television series. Go from there.
Biggity boom. And obviously, if they don't know, reach out to us.
Yeah.
Put some comments down below. We'll talk to you. We'll make recommendations.
Yep.
There's plenty of other books that we'll probably pick up throughout the rest of the week that we didn't even feature on the show. So feel free, reach out. And as always, like this episode. Watch it to the very end, because it helps with the algorithms.
Yep.
And
subscribe. Every week we do this, so hit the bell. It'll let you know.
Boom. Till next week, guys. Keep reading.
Toodles.